and the intricacies, because a good number of you have set up companies, but you don't understand the implications. And from what I'm going to be teaching you, a good number of you will leave this place to go and form companies. And so they will, in the next 15 minutes, just run through what is about company formation, what are responsibilities, what does the government expect of you, and compliance and all stuff like that. Then I will take you into my own summary.
Thank you, Apostle. And thank you for the light of the word for such a memorable 2017 Men's Convention.
Can you tell us who you are and what is your qualification?
Yes, my name is Dendi Olorotobi. I'm a chartered accountant. I am a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and also a fellow of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants in the UK. I've been a chartered accountant now for the past going to 24 years now. I am the principal partner of K. Amos & Co., a firm that is duly registered with ACCA in the UK, and we have our office at Blackheath Road. In terms of business running, there are different levels or natures of business that one can have. You can have what we call sole trading. You can have partnership. You do have also limited liability companies. You have also charities that are actually trading for the benefit of the community where they are based. You have all these different levels of businesses. You have different benefits that is attached to each of them. To register as a sole trading, all you need is just a business name, and then you start trading. But you have to inform the HMRC that you are trading in this nature of endeavor. Then we have partnership. Partnership, as the name connotes, is where two or more people come together to form a business venture, and that is what we call partnership. Then you have what we call company, and company is a business entity that is registered with Companies House. Companies House is the governmental body that is responsible for registering businesses in the UK. And then if you want to register as a charity, trading for the benefit of either a cause, you have what we call Charity Commission of England and Wales. They are the ones that register charities. To narrow it down to companies that are registered with the Companies House, there are two major types of companies that are registered with Companies House. We have what we call companies limited by shares. They are private companies limited by shares. And then we have companies that we call companies limited by guarantee. Private companies limited by shares are companies that are registered for the purpose of profit making for the promoters or the stakeholders of that business. And we have limited by guarantee. These are companies that are created not to make money, but also more or less to provide service to the community. But the intention of registering it is more of similar to a charity. It's not necessarily a charity, but it's more or less close to being a charity organization because they cannot distribute profit to the shareholders because they are not registered with shares. And if you don't have shares, obviously you cannot distribute dividend to the shareholders. On the issue of charities, those ones are a different topic entirely because it's also very extensive in its own nature. You have organizations that are registered as charity, and they are registered as charity because they are there to render a benefit to the community. They are profit-making, but not to distribute to the shareholders, but to plow back the profit in the furtherance of the activities of the charity. So we have that as well. And in terms of what are the responsibilities, once a company is registered with Companies House, there are responsibilities that the stakeholders or the directors are obligated to render. one, we have what we call annual accounts. Companies are expected to submit annual accounts. Annual accounts is your record of your transaction within a year. So you are allowed within 9 months after the end of your financial year to submit your annual accounts to the company's house. For instance, if a company is registered, say, on the 1st of January, your year end will be January to December. That makes it 1 year. Then the tax of the HMRC and the company's house allows you 9 months after December, which will be 30th of September the following year, you are expected to submit your account to company's house. And then the same account also is also what you submit to HMRC. But in addition to the account, you submit what we call corporation tax computation, which is through what we call CT 600 form. It's a form that is a specialist form that will be completed by a knowledgeable person in the person of accountants, some lawyers who are into also processing corporation tax. You have tax consultants also, because it's a specialist form, you need to know what you are completing. And then there's another second obligation that is required of directors or shareholders of companies that are registered with Companies House, which we call confirmation statement. Formerly, it was known as annual return. But as at June 2016, the name was changed to confirmation statement by Companies House. And the confirmation statement, what they added to it was to introduce what we call persons of significant control, which is PSC. Persons of significant control, what that means is they want to identify who has significant control over the running of the company, so that in the event of any problem, by way of if there's any negligence on the part of the company towards member of the public, if there's any incident or accident for which the company is known to be negligible, then they want to hold somebody accountable for that, because they believe that it is their action in running the business that has led to the company being negligent. So they introduce what they call persons of significant control. And the confirmation statement is done also once in a year, and is always 14 days after the anniversary of the company being registered. You are expected to submit confirmation statement. And in terms of lateness in submitting either the annual accounts or the confirmation statement, there are penalties to them. For instance, in the annual accounts, if you don't file it on time, within 1 month of lateness, the company has to fine you £150. Between 1 month to 3 months of you filing it, they will charge you £750. Then beyond 6 months, the charge increases to 1,500. In terms of the confirmation statement, if confirmation statement is not filed 6 months after the due date, then they will start what we call liquidation of that company, the process of liquidating that company. If after 6 months of informing the directors that they want to liquidate the company and they don't respond, then they will give the directors 2 months. Then they will gazette it, put it in the official document that this company is about to be closed down. So, and once the company is closed down, it's closed down. Though, if you still value the company, you can do what we call administrative restoration, which is a very long process. So it's always good for the directors to fulfill their statutory obligations, in the sight of the law. So those are the two issues that needs to be dealt with on a yearly basis with regards to, one, maintaining the company with Companies House. But with regards to the HMRC's interest is in your annual accounts, because it's from your annual accounts they'll be able to determine whether, one, if there's any profit that has been made by the company, and obviously if there's any profit, they are looking at the tax implication, because they are there to collect the taxes. Whereas Companies House is there to just keep up the statistics, because it's from the statistics that the company house keeps that the government is able to, assess the business climate in the economy. They're able to know whether the company's businesses are doing well or not. And they're able to know also in terms of how many are the numbers of entrepreneurs that are in the country in terms of, okay, how many companies are actually active. Out of these companies that are active, what categories are what we call macro entities, what categories are small scale entities, what categories are medium scale entities, what categories are large scale entities. So all this information are derived from the account, because it's the account that would then show what level that company fits in. So in terms of running businesses, when client or potential clients come over to me, my passion has always been to ask them in terms of what is their vision, what is their objective for running the business. Because when you know the objective or the reason for a person running the business, you'll be able to guide them appropriately. You'll be able to let them know the various options that are available to them. You'll be able to let them know the various height they can take the company to. Because people at times, they just want to, they want to do business, but they don't know what kind of business they want to go into. They don't know what nature of registration to pursue. What are the legal implications of actually having registered the company, what and what is required. So these are the ways in which I guide clients to let them know that, well, you want to do business, no problem, but what is your skill level? What is your knowledge base of this business that you want to go into? So many people want to go into business, but they don't have a clue as per what the business entails. And that alone is a ground for failure when they don't equip themselves in terms of what the business, what the industry they want to go into. So running the business is good, but being knowledgeable about what you want to do and then seeking professionals that will be able to guide you, seeking professionals that will be able to point you in the right direction is equally very important. So, all right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Put your hands together. Can I say that what Deacon has just spoken to you about, I want to take it to heart, because in this country, there is only one border between you maintaining your good name and you becoming a criminal. Just one string of a line. And it is always, catalyzed by ignorance. Because a good number of people, because you want to do business, China, the government said now that China will be open to England, India will be open to England, people are going to China, people are going to Dubai, and you are a staff working somewhere, and then you start following them to Dubai. Now, when you start going to Dubai and you buy goods and you bring it to England and you sell the goods, the law requires that you declare to the government how much you have earned from that, because it's an earning. And, of course, you pay into your account and you didn't declare nothing. A few years later, a little thing happened, they investigate you. They will go back and they will bring all those things out, and that will be a big problem. Some other people will say, okay, I want to set up a company, because you saw somebody set up a company, which is the generality of many people, and you start putting in money in the company, buying from the company, and spending money. And if you are not careful, you may end up in jail in England. So it's very, very good. Now, I told you 15 minutes, I'll give you a little précis about this Brexit stuff. The first thing I want to say to us is that the intention of this brief is to give you an understanding about where we are, where we are going in the United Kingdom. I have sent a full-blown report to those of you who left your email. If you did not receive from me and you want information, detailed information, when you are leaving here, please write your name and email only, not telephone, name and email, and I will update you. But what really is about this single market? How did it come to conception? And I'm so glad that I'm talking to Christians, because I also heard that some Christians have said that European Union is Antichrist, and they have a lot of publication about all those things. I beg to differ, to tell you from the knowledge I have got and from biblical knowledge that all those inferences are trash. They are